that. You know, I can't say that. I'm clearly a Gen Xer.
Good try.
I absolutely know what Memorex is. And the commercial with the guy turning the stereo on and like flying backwards because it's so loud on the. Anyway.
Yeah.
Is that Memorex?
Actually, the one that I like is the guy in the chair.
Yeah.
And the dog's beside him, and he puts on like the aviators.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah. Where he goes, oh,
his scarf's so blowing behind him. Yeah.
I had no idea what that had to do with a tape. Because it was the speakers doing that, but it's so
because
loud.
the quality coming from the tape produced such a fine sound.
Oh, well, that's just complete BS because those tapes are horrible.
Okay, so to be fair, if you want to feel less dated and I'll feel more dated, my first experience with using Memorex tapes was a computer that had a tape drive.
Oh, that's about time.
And so all my video game saves for things like
they were Texas Instruments computers too, man.
Things like no, I didn't have a TI. So.
You know a TI? Oh man, those are cool. Yeah. Did you have a Commodore? It's Commodore 64.
I mean.
It was Commodore 64. Okay, cool.
I had a Commodore 64. Then I had a Tandy 1000. Yeah.
Tandy 1000.
Radio Shack brought out Tandy. It was so wonderful.
They were such garbage.
But yeah,
we
go.
Okay.
That's amazing. I learned how to program on my computer. I programmed 10,000 lines of basics so that I could play a game that would ask me
would you like to play a game?
Would you like to go left or right? Left. Go left.
Did you play Zorp on there?
Yes.
Yeah.
I did play Zork.
Zork. Pardon me. Zorp is
that was actually the first tape drive game I ever played.
Yeah. Wow.
So,
okay.
Because you got to save your.
Now that we've told you exactly how the range of our ages, which you probably know already. Yeah, that's fun. So today we're going to talk about books on a budget. This is a good week for books on a budget too, because there's a really, really big book I think we both have on there that is potential. Well, I'll tell you in a minute, but it's already a really, really big book. So, you want to start with the number 4?
Sure, and I have a caveat.
What's your caveat?
Now, my caveat is not saying I have 2 books. It's an either or. I think we've solved. So
yeah, we've solved it.
My number 4 pick is Firepower. Mm-hmm. Either number 1 or number 2.
Exactly.
Now, here's the thing, guys. Issue number 1, 24 pages of it were probably the Free Comic Book Day variant. So if you picked up the Free Comic Book Day Firepower, then you probably have already read 24 pages. Hey, there's 20 more in there, and they should be amazing.
Exactly. Yeah.
But for that reason, I would probably pick number 2 because it's going to give me all new Firepower, and I'm ready for all new Firepower.
Yep.
And I'm really excited about it.
I am too. This will be definitely one of the books I'm going to read for the week. However,
didn't make your top 4.
No, it just didn't, because there was things that I genuinely like more. And my number 4 is Dark Knight's Metal: Legends of Death Metal 1.
So actually, that's not the title. You missed it.
That is one part.
It's Dark Knights, Death Metal, Legends of Dark Knights.
Legend of Dark Knights. Okay, I got the name
wrong.
Number 1. This should be the first appearance of the Robin King. It is speculated right now heavily at $25 for cover A.
Holy cow!
So there are a lot of stores have already gotten them because that's how it goes with Lunar.
Lunar, yeah.
So or UCS, depending on where you're buying from, because depending on where the country. But quite frankly, this has been just frankly amazing. So I'm very excited for this. And now again, this is part of what we talk about speculator books. This is a book that has been speculated heavily. We don't know for certain that Robin King. Well, we do know for certain now because people have been talking about it. So yeah, he's certainly in it. What's your number 3, sir?
Well, my number 3 is Deceased Dead Planet number 2.
Excellent. Cannot wait for that book. I'm seriously can't wait for that book. But mine is Star Wars number 5. Now, I also believe from a collecting / speculating standpoint, Star Wars number 5 is going to be a really big book. First of all, this Star Wars run...
Is Luke going to get his hand cut off? Oh, no, wait. That's already
happened. Oh, too soon? All right.
No.
So...
No, that happened in the
a
early
long
80s.
Time ago.
So...
But no, I think, though, that all these Star Wars books are going to have some first appearance or some first thing happening, especially the first few. So if you aren't reading it, first of all, you should be. Second of all, if you are reading it and you don't have the issues, well, good luck, because everything's in second and third printing now. It's been insane. Kylo Ren went to 4 printings on every single book. It was
amazing.
It was a fantastic book, though.
Which is funny. Let's talk very briefly about what's happening in the Star Wars universe.
Yeah.
Disney got such a poor reception from the sequel series.
Yeah.
Force Awakens, Last Jedi, Rise of Skywalker, that they're going to reboot a sequel series.
Well, they're talking about it. There's no official anything yet. It's all been speculation.
They're in moves with George Lucas involved, and what is it, Kathleen Kennedy that's out?
Yeah, she's like, if you're gonna do this, I quit.
Yeah,
and for good reason. So
I don't know. I mean, so I liked the sequels.
I did too. I thought they were great.
There were things that I think they did wrong. Like,
hey, they explained the blue milk.
It should have been Rian Johnson or J.J. Abrams
and not
through
both.
all
And not
three.
both. I agree.
And so it was almost like they were shaking their nerd wangs at each other.
Hey, look what I got! I can do it too. Yeah.
At least it wasn't Bryan Singer, so that all those poor little boys would get.
Oh,
so anyway,
Bryan Singer.
what is your number
Wow. 3? I just wish I was 5.
Well, so the reason I was saying that is right now continuity in the Star Wars universe is at a premium.
Oh, yeah.
And one of the places you can get it if you're a Star Wars fan is in the comics.
Yep.
We're working on stories between Empire and Return,
Yep.
and everything that they put in there is canon.
Because
It's Disney owned.
there is never an explanation as to how and what happened to Luke between the two movies. There was speculation, but there's never anything. This is definitely what he did.
We expect some darkness.
Oh, in issue 2. In issue 2, they're escaping from the Empire, and he literally crushes thousands of
TIE
fighters with just a thought.
There wasn't thousands, but yes.
Hundreds.
There was a couple of squads.
It was a bunch, and literally he just simply reached out.
He lit up
crushed them.
space. It was pretty cool.
It was man, and that's something as a Jedi you're not shouldn't be able to do.
Why?
We know that because they're not supposed to be. It's dark energy they're using. You're not supposed to be using dark energy. It's supposed to be using only light. They're using dark energy.
So I'm going to say bullshit to all of that.
Okay, well, I'm just saying what the canon has always been.
No. The Force is a little bit like electricity. Electricity is neither good nor evil. It is just power.
But the Force has two sides. Two sides.
How you access that power emotionally. He did go at it from the dark side because he was angry.
Oh yeah.
But it wasn't that.
It was mostly angry at Yoda and Obi-Wan.
It isn't that Jedis couldn't do that. In fact, Anakin
Right.
did a whole bunch of explodey, killy type of things during the war.
Right.
And so
But it was also
did Obi-Wan
accessing
Kenobi.
the dark side.
Obi-Wan Kenobi was not. I reject your reality. What's your number 2, sir?
My number 2 is Far Sector number 7. I cannot wait for this
So,
series to continue.
There's
It's
an
fantastic.
art germ variant of that
Yes.
that is beautiful.
Yeah.
I mean, it is very, very well done.
Yeah.
And I was super impressed. So I pull the art for the show, try to do it as early on as I can so that I'm prepped for the weekend.
Yeah.
And I was pulling it and I'm like, I don't read this book, but damn, I might pick up that cover. Like,
Gorgeous. It's a great book
he
too.
made her kind of foxy.
And she's a Green Lantern, but she's not a Green Lantern. That's what makes it so interesting. That's what makes it, because I understand your dislike of Hal Jordan.
No, I just don't like Green Lanterns.
She's not. She has the power, but it's only good for a certain time frame. Anyway, so I really enjoyed this series, and I can't wait for more. I kind of want her to be standard Lantern, but I don't think by the end either they're going to kill her off at the end, or they're not going to make her a standard Lantern. I think it's going to be she's going to go back home. With
I don't
new knowledge.
I don't see anything wrong with having a standalone story. I mean, I have toyed in writing with the idea of having a story where you follow a magical artifact that goes from bearer to bearer to bearer to bearer.
Like a blue scarab.
A magical sword.
Sorry,
No,
that's too
nobody
easy.
cares about Jaime Reyes either.
It wasn't. It was Ted Cord.
No, we actually like Ted Cord. We hate Jaime Reyes.
Yeah, hate Jaime. Yeah. So, but Ted actually never used the blue scarab. He just adopted it. He never actually used the scarab, because if he had used the scarab, he would have had more powers.
Such a good scarab.
He would have adopted
The best thing about Ted Cord is Booster Gold.
I really would love to see a buddy cop kind of thing with those two, man. That'd be fantastic. But what's your number?
We have a mutual number 1, but my number 2 is your number 4. Dark Knight's Death Metal Legend of Dark Knights. Number 1.
Number 1, nice. And so our number 1's the same, all right?
Yeah.
Batman 96.
Batman 96, hands down.
Can't wait.
Written by
the famous James Tynion IV.
Hey, you said it all. Thank you. Joker War. So, Empire's been good.
Oh yeah.
I will say that Dark Knight's Death Metal has been great.
Mm-hmm.
Joker War's kicking their butts, man. Like,
Yep.
there has not been all of the tie-in issues. The journey to Joker War have been phenomenal.
Yep.
Detective has been phenomenal. Batman has been.
Batgirl 47.
Whoa.
Okay, so we had some good comics that week, and we've had some good. Honestly, there hasn't been a bad week recently of comics, so we haven't had anything good.
Right.
Very light weeks sometimes, but yeah, that's my top 4. I mean, we're not talking crazy stuff, but we're talking things that personally, I mean, Far Sector for me, that's a big deal. It's not a big collector book, but I love reading that book.
So I'm really excited about Empire number 4. I really am, and the Empire handbook. I like handbooks. I'm that guy. But for the fact that all the Batman has been so over the top, and Deceased, Dead Planet has been.
Now that's another one. That's another one that I'm just genuinely like. That's probably about I'm on the top of the stack. It's going to be fantastic. I'm very, very excited for. This is a good week anyway. But I mean, man, Batman's going to be insane. So.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. All that good stuff.
All that jazz.
So that one stopped, but that one's not.
So if it's off balance, maybe pull the two closer together.
That's kind of what I'm thinking. Is maybe for the next segment.
I'm sorry if it feels like we're like this. Sorry,
roll
guys.
them in.
Didn't mean to.
Well, and I don't know which footage I'm going to use.
It's only weird if you make it weird. Just saying.
I cuddle afterwards. Shut the fuck up.
Okay, well, I didn't say you didn't cuddle. Cuddle good.
I think it is a little downhill.